Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. I once again climbed to Legend using nothing but budget decks in June, and people often asking me to compare the budget decks, okay, which deck is the best, which deck should I go for. And in this video I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about the best budget decks and what does it look like to be a budget gamer in Hearthstone right now. First of all, I'm going to present 5 decks in this video. They are the 5 decks that I had a positive win rate with when I was doing my Legend climb, so all of these had above 50% win rate. 2 of them, the first 2, are a little bit weaker. I'm not sure if I could do all the way to Legend, if I could get through those final ranks with them, although I did have a positive win rate with them. And the other 3 are a little bit stronger, especially top 2 are just ridiculously strong decks that don't even feel like playing a budget deck when you play them. I have attempted to build numerous other decks as well, but many of the decks that worked in May, I haven't been able to fine-tune them for the current meta, and I haven't been able to get them to work in June again. One of them being, for example, Galakrond Priest. I still have some hope for Galakrond Priest, I just have not found a budget version of Galakrond Priest, because Galakrond Priest kind of relies on those very expensive legendary cards a lot. But I'm still looking, maybe I can find something. I will try again that next season. And then there's Hunter. I used to have 3 viable budget Hunter decks early in Ashes of Outland, but now only the fastest one seems to do well. I'm still thinking whether there would be something with Stealth, Beasts, something a little bit slower with Hunter that could be done. I just haven't found it. As for some of the other classes like Paladin and Mage, I'm just not hopeful at all. But anyway, let's take a look at what I know that does work. And first of them being this Galakrond Zoo Warlock. I built a bunch of Zoo Warlock decks over the course of the Ashes of Outland expansion. First of all with the imprisoned Scrap Imp, but after the Scrap Imp was nerfed, then it's become a little bit more difficult. And then I ventured into this Galakrond territory, and I got it to work quite alright on a full cost with Sea Giants and Magic Carpets and stuff, but on a budget that didn't just translate very well to budget form. However, combining Galakrond and Scrap Imp did give it a little bit more punch, and I feel like this is the optimal way to build a budget zoo right now. Whether all of these are the optimal cards, I can't say for sure about that, but just running the Galakrond package and the Scrap Imp seems to give the deck enough power to succeed more than it fails. Another budget deck that I had some good times with is Galakrond Rogue. Galakrond Rogue, like, how do you even build that on a budget? Because the regular Galakrond Rogue, all the win conditions are legendary cards. You have Edwin and Heist Baron and Gronks, and it's all just legendary. But Questing Adventurer, Cursed Vagrant are able to get something done. This archetype was stronger in May. The rise of Bomb Warrior instead of Enrage Warrior kind of put it down a notch, because Bomb Warrior can deal with the shadows with stealth, whereas against Enrage Warrior, once you got that one down, their skippers couldn't remove it, and then if you had done enough damage early enough, then that 7/5 shadow was able to go face. But Galakrond Rogue is still, it's a playable deck. It's obviously weaker when it's on a budget, but these win conditions can still get some of the job done. I was able to climb with this a little bit, but I'm not certain whether this can take you all the way through those final ranks. However, this one I am confident that can get you all the way. It's Face Hunter. And well, this is the same Face Hunter deck that I built in May. I have not made a single change. Even though Scavenger's Ingenuity was nerfed, I have not changed this deck. I don't think it's needed. It still wants to run the Boar and the Face Stalker and the Ingenuity package. Face Hunter is just, it's fast enough. It can go under these more expensive decks and kill them before they get to do all their fun stuff. And this is still the way to go with Face Hunter. And this is the actual deck that I played to Legend this season. I went 15-4 in the final stretch with this one, and this is just the nuts. Tempo Demon Hunter, you can nerf it how many times? 4 times nerfed. Every time the nerf has touched the cheap cards, so every time the budget deck has needed to be rebuilt. And every time it has been possible to rebuild it. Now it's with the Bone Jaw Brawlers, Amani Berserkers, they are being supported by Beaming Sidekicks, Guardian Orc Merchants, just that very good explosive power at the start that's very difficult to remove. And you try to win with those, then you have the Satyr Overseers for some board spamming. Then you have Frozen Shadow Weavers to buy you some time against other Demon Hunters, against Warriors. And ultimately you have Altruist the Outcast, which can really help in the late game. If all of this early stuff fails to win the game, then trying to get a Skull out there, get some cheap cards, go for a big Altruist swing turn. That can help you take the game. This is the deck that I had the highest win rate with, but I think it is more difficult to play than the Druid deck, so I would say that the Druid deck is probably the most effective deck for majority of players, because it combines power with ease, and being easy to play it's an upside for a deck. This is also powerful, but a little bit more difficult to get everything out of this machine. And what can I say about Druid? Spell Druid, it's just insanely good. Don't worry if you don't have Isera Unleashed. Don't sweat about it. It's okay. You can still do it. You can still have the ramp, you can still have the mount sellers, and that is really enough to win the majority of games. I built the first version of Spell Druid on budget in April. Back then it was still a Kael'thas build. I actually played that Kael'thas build throughout May. It was still doing great then. Then Druid became more popular, more mirrors, and Demon Hunter is still strong. I made a couple of changes. I cut the Kael'thas, it was a little bit slow, added a little bit more ramp with the Wild Growth, and a little bit more defenses against Demon Hunter with another Claw, and then came up with this list. And yeah, you might not have Isera, but you have stuff like Glowfly Swarm into Soul of the Forest, you have exotic mount sellers, you have double Savage Roars, so you have everything it takes to succeed with this one. So I'm still hopeful that there can be a couple of budget decks that could be found for Ashes of Outland. In the meanwhile, some of the decks that I built earlier, like the Spell Mage, like the Galakrond Priest, don't seem to be working that well anymore. But these 5 archetypes were something that I was able to salvage in June and still work well. The Druid and the Demon Hunter are clearly the strongest ones. They are just insanely strong. It doesn't even feel like you're playing a budget deck when you play them. Face Hunter is a little bit more one-dimensional, but it's still very capable, gets good results. And then there's the Rogue and the Zoo Warlock, which are capable enough to win more than they lose, but they are a lot more work to get working. I will still try some more ideas, see if I can build something, but of course no guarantees whether I will be able to find anything. But anyway, that's at least 5 different classes, 5 playable decks that you can play on a budget. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.